What's up, man? This is a Fury versus Wilder talk, prediction, whatever you gonna call it. I see Tyson Fury winning the fight. I know some people that support Deontay Wilder. They believe Deontay Wilder is gonna win. If you're a full supporter of Deontay Wilder, if you're a Deontay Wilder fan or a hardcore fan or whatever, you're gonna pick Deontay Wilder. No problem with that. But, it's some people going around saying Deontay Wilder is the favorite. Deontay Wilder is not the favorite. Tyson Fury is the favorite. We've seen these two guys fight twice. Both times, I believe, the first fight, I believe Tyson Fury won that fight. It was a draw. Fine. It's in black and white. It's a draw. Second fight, we know what happened in that fight. It was a demolition. Tyson Fury won hands down. He just beat him up. Just beat Deontay Wilder up. It was not even close. It was not even competitive. And, it's a lot of accusations thrown out after the fight, a lot of shenanigans, a lot of this, that. What ultimately happened was Deontay Wilder stepped into the ring with Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury dominated him. And it's a lot of people that just can't grasp that. A lot of people just, because they thought Deontay Wilder was this monster that was going to knock out everybody. When we seen in history guys that usually knock guys out like this, eventually they get dominated, they get knocked out. We seen Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. We seen Lennox Lewis, Hassan Rahman. We seen George Foreman, Muhammad Ali beat him. So we seen a lot of these guys, Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali beat him. It's a lot of these guys throughout history that, yes, they knock out a lot of guys, but eventually they get theirs. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. See, it's a lot of guys, it's a lot of people that just became boxing fans, and they haven't seen a lot of boxing to understand that just because you have power doesn't mean you're gonna knock out everyone. There's some people that's gonna be able to take your power. Then you have to be able to do something else. If you can't do anything else, if you cannot make adjustments, which Deontay Wilder don't make adjustments, if you can't make adjustments to what is going on in front of you as far as your opponent being able to take your best Sunday punch, then you have to have something. If you have anything else, then that guy, most likely, if he's a Tyson Fury, if he's a Muhammad Ali, if he's a Buster Douglas in Mike Tyson case, he's going to beat you. It's just what it is. If you don't have anything else but the power, Tyson Fury took Deontay's power away from him. Now, the third fight, people look at Deontay Wilder and say, oh, Deontay Wilder is always in great shape. I never seen a fight where Deontay Wilder does not come in great shape. He's always in great shape. That's not the question. That's not the problem with Deontay Wilder. The problem with Deontay Wilder is being able to do things in the ring that's going to help him beyond his power. Learn how to set his power up in different variations. I'm not saying Deontay Wilder got to be Muhammad Ali in there. He has to be this great boxer. He's not going to ever be that. He doesn't have to be that. But he has to go in there and use his jab. Use a functional jab. You know what I'm saying? Hook off the jab. Those are like simple things he can be able to do. Don't overcomplicate it. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to do those things. Jab to the body. Be able to offset your opponent so your opponent is just not worried about your right hand. Hide your right hand. Deliver it when you're able to have your opponent off balance. Then deliver the right hand. If Deontay Wilder going there and telegraph his right hand in the third fight, the same thing's gonna. I believe Tyson Fury is gonna win the third fight anyway, because unlike MMA, in boxing, there's only so much you can do because you only can use your hands. In MMA, you can use your feet, elbows. You know what I'm saying? You could throw kicks to the head. You could do all. You could wrestle. You could do all these things. So just because a guy beats a guy in MMA in the first fight, even in the first two fights, doesn't mean he's gonna beat him. You know what I'm saying? Or have the advantage in the third fight, because different things change. But in boxing, usually when a guy has your number, he has your number. Tarver had Roy Jones' number. Just had his number. It's just Roy Jones can dominate everybody else. It's just Tarver just that southpaw stance, long, lean. It got pretty good defense. That just it was just too much for for Roy Jones. But Tyson Fury, to me, he's just a bad matchup for Deontay Wilder. And now if you saying, well, Deontay Wilder got a puncher's chance, well, if you saying a guy got a puncher's chance going to the fight, he virtually has very little chance. Now, Deontay Wilder, to me, Deontay Wilder doesn't. I don't know how you measure how a guy punches harder than another guy. Does he punch harder than Tyson? Because he got more knockouts, does he punch harder than Tyson? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to gauge how. I just know they both have power. They both have concussion power. They both have really good power. George Foreman too. You could throw him, Ernie Savers. You could throw a lot of guys in there. Sonny Liston. You could throw a lot of guys in there. Klitschko, Lennox Lewis. You know what I'm saying? They all have power. To say who's more powerful, I don't know. But to say that Deontay Wilder only has a puncher's chance, he virtually has no chance. And Tyson Fury, he's been in the ring. See, Tyson Fury is a technician, and now he's turned himself into a guy that can be on the front foot, at least against Wilder he can. So he has put more variation into his fight, which makes it even harder for Deontay Wilder. Let's just say Deontay Wilder looks better than he looked in the first two fights. He still may get stopped. He still may get dominated. It's just because Tyson Fury is a technician first. So Deontay Wilder is not going to outbox Tyson Fury. And now it looks like Deontay Wilder is not going to outfight Tyson Fury. Yes, Deontay Wilder can punch, but can he turn to a fighter? Can he get in there and just fight, get in the mud and fight? We seen Tyson Fury get in the mud and fight. And then ultimately just have the corner just throw the towel in. Deontay Wilder didn't quit. No, he didn't quit. He was willing to keep going until he went on his shield. He wanted to go on his shield. Okay, that's fine. Every man has the right to go out how he want to go out in his chosen profession. That's his profession. That's his career. But Tyson Fury is just a bad matchup. Tyson Fury been fighting since he was little. I know Deontay Wilder picked it up late. Deontay Wilder, for a guy that picked it up late, he's had an awesome career. He won bronze in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? With very little experience, and it took him, you know what I'm saying? That very little experience that he had took him a long way. Made him a champion. Countless title defenses. You know what I'm saying? It's no knock on Deontay Wilder. The only thing I have a problem with Deontay Wilder is the excuses that he made after the second fight. It's like, yes, he probably thought no one can beat him. He probably thought he was going to knock out everybody. He probably thought he was going to dominate everybody. That's fine. And it's probably okay for him to be in denial. You know, in the beginning, you in denial. Okay, let that man have his moment to air out. But it's been 2 years and he's still on it. He's still on it. And now he had time to sit back, think about it, do this, do that, and he is still on it. He's still on that. He still believes that Tyson Fury cheated him. So let's see how that helped. It didn't help him after the second fight, because after the second fight, it was about the referee cheated him, this, that. They gave Tyson Fury more time on the ground because he's white, this and that, and it didn't bode well. The third fight, he got dominated. So is this going to bode well for him that he's still on it? He still had recent interviews to where he still said this man cheated him? I don't know, man. I mean, maybe he believing in his bones that he got cheated. Okay, to each his own. But far as the fight goes and far as the tactics in the ring, Tyson Fury just has proven he's the better fighter. Tyson Fury has proven that he's the better fighter. Tyson Fury goes into the third fight a heavy favorite based on the two fights that we have seen with our own eyes. Now, sometimes we will get two fighters that we never seen, right? And you're gonna pick who you think is gonna win. You know what I'm saying? And that's just based on your opinion as far as you never seen them in the ring. So you're gonna base it off of who they fought, the opponents they fought, similar opponents, or opponents with the same style that fighter fought versus that fighter, and then you're gonna make your assessment. Like Sean Porter and Terence Crawford's about to fight. They never fought before. But I'm picking Terence Crawford. I'm picking Terence Crawford based on what I seen Terence Crawford did, and based on what Sean Porter did. Not based on what they did in the ring together because they never fought before. This fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, I'm basing this off of 2 fights that I seen. I seen 2 fights with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to deny what my eyes seen. I seen Tyson Fury win most of the rounds in both fights. And then in the second fight, I seen him dominate Wilder. Now, I have seen this. This is not nothing I'm going to base off of what I think. I just seen it. So I believe Tyson Fury is probably is gonna stop Deontay Wilder again. Now, people say, well, Deontay Wilder looked good in training camp. That's fine. That's fine that he looks good in training camp, that he looks good hitting the mitts and all that stuff. That's fine that he looks good doing that. The only thing about that is, and y'all say he doing some different things, but he never put those different things in application. The first time he will put those things in application is when he fight Tyson Fury. Is that a good look? Is that good? I don't think so, because I'm with what Tyson Fury said. When when the fire starts, Deontay Wilder probably going to start doing what he normally does. He's going to go back to what he normally does, because your muscle memory doesn't change in a year and a half of boxing. He's been fighting. He has not, to me, used his jab functionally since he fought Bermane Stiverne the first time, and that was like years ago. The way he's been fighting right now is the way he's fought since then is the way the way he has been fighting for the last 5 or 6 years. Does Malik Scott change that in 6-8 months? I don't think so, because I understand muscle memory, and your muscle memory is what carries you. It's your instincts. His instincts is going to go back to trying to knock Tyson Fury out. I believe Tyson Fury is going to come out doing the same thing he did in the second fight. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't Tyson Fury do the same, try the same tactics he did in the second fight? Because he was vastly successful. But let me know what y'all think. I got Tyson Fury by stoppage in the late rounds, man. I'm out.